So I've been having such a fun day talking to the rest of the cast members and your director. This is
Good.
such an amazing film. I thought it was incredible. Everybody has been talking about how on set it was such a safe space. Uh, you're the only male cast member on this. How do you feel like creating such a safe work environment for such an uncomfortable story?
Yeah. Very interesting. You know, you're right. I'm not sure if anybody mentioned this. The set was about a couple of blocks from my actual home. So my wife came down. She brought the baby. You know, we got pictures with Cairo holding the baby. So, and then yeah, our lunches were in the garage, just sitting on coolers with cast and crew, just like sitting and holding your paper plate, eating like that. And we all shared a dressing room. And I think the comfort level started with the audition, which I'm sure you've heard about before. Everyone just kind of clicking right away, both with Cairo and his team and the two other actors and myself. So by the time we got to set, it was like, hey guys, there you are. Feeling very comfortable with them already. But I think it was a testament to Cairo's directing and specifically Anna Claire's focus, that when we're all hanging out, enjoying everyone is a big like college family project. But then when we really needed to get down to work, Anna Claire just brought it. She brought that focus and that gravitas, and Cairo kept everything moving, quickly.
Your character is fascinating because he has a soft side to him, but then he has I guess, a very aggressive side. What was it like for you getting into both of those parts of your character?
Yeah, I'm definitely more suited for being sensitive and kind and welcoming and things. So I hear a lot of actors say, "Oh, it's so great to play the bad guy. I've always wanted to play the bad guy and really let that." I find that to be very difficult. I find the aggression to be out of character, out of my skin and things. So not yet do I feel completely comfortable being the aggressor, whether it's sexually or just manipulating or just being a bad guy in something, which I very rarely have to do. So because I don't have the reps and the practice, when I have to turn on the bad guy in this film, it feels less comfortable than when I'm ingratiating myself to the Emily character, welcoming her into my home and things like that. So there's definitely a challenge to work those the mean muscles, as it were.
Definitely. And one of my favorite parts in this is when you're leading Emily through the story.
Yeah.
How do you begin to do that? Because you have it such a soothing way to present it, and it just leads perfectly through it.
Well, thank you. I think my perfect acting scenario is to be seated in a very, very well executed room as far as art design is concerned. So this office felt like a warm, comfortable womb, like it was, kind of like representing in the movie. So even though there's cameras and lights, I feel at home, I feel at ease, I feel the warm lights and just the amazing set design that they had. And so you settle into that, and it just naturally makes your voice and your body come off as soft and warm and inviting, as opposed to just trying to aim at that. So I would credit that scene to the set design and the look of the film, because once Anna Claire and I sat down in that office, it was a lot of dialogue, but it all came very naturally because it felt like you were a therapist in a warm, comfortable office.
Definitely. And I've been praising Cairo so much throughout the interviews because I feel like it's very beneficial to have a director who is so passionate about the project. How was your interaction with Cairo?
So I would say, I'm an actor. You are doing your journalism thing, and you're starting your career, and I should have been starting mine a long time ago. But I think Cairo, we will look back on the time when we interviewed Cairo about a film, or when we worked with Cairo on a film, because his career, and that's the real story of this whole picture, is the beginning of Cairo Smith's career, and how he made his first movie, what he was doing back then. And sure, you've seen all these blockbusters, but have you ever seen his first film called Screwdriver? So I think you and I are lucky to be aligned with Cairo right now. And and I feel like I won't tell you about how his passion was and things, since I'm sure they've talked about that already, but there's more than one time when Cairo caught me. I'm twice his age. And there's more than one time where he caught me not being aware of what the film was about. So for instance, I just thought, okay, we're all sitting around at the end, we're drinking orange juice just because this is a low budget film. We got a bunch of college people chipping in almost for free. And so let's just pour some orange juice, and they're drinking that. And then Cairo is like, well, you know, that's a screwdriver, right? And the title of the film is Screwdriver. And I was like, what? And I'm like, yeah, I knew we were supposed to be drinking orange juice and vodka, and I know that's a screwdriver, but I never, and it's embarrassing for me to say, but and there was another time where I was like, you know, I don't really think, and I don't like to pull this, but I say, why is my character doing X, Y, and Z? I don't get it. And he would say, well, you realize that by the end of the script, you have, you know, done this. And I'm like, what? So, I mean, that's when I just totally fell for Cairo, because, and I stopped asking questions, honestly, because I didn't want to embarrass myself anymore. But I was like, dude, this kid, he's a wonder kid. You know, he's like a Hollywood whiz kid, but now he's an adult. But I'm twice his age, and I couldn't even keep up. Like I can't keep up with what he was trying to convey and how he wrote it and things. And that just impressed the hell out of me and blew my mind. So I was like, I'm on board for anything this guy ever wants to do, because to have that awareness and to have your mind completely wrapped around a script like that at his age is something I can't even do at twice his age. So it's very impressive. And yes, he's passionate, he's focused, he's good at what he does, but he's going to go very, very far. And you and I will be lucky to have, you know, had some interaction on Screwdriver with him.
Definitely. And for me, the movie was very captivating. And I've been hearing from the rest of your cast that they watched the film and they catch stuff that they didn't catch while making the film. Have you felt the same experience?
I did. I went to the premiere with my wife, and she's like, oh, when I saw the magazine at the very top of the movie and it read, "It's okay to laugh," I thought, oh, okay, he's putting that out there so that even though this is a tense movie, it's okay to laugh at some of the, you know, scarier parts or some of the jokes. And I said, what do you mean? And so first of all, she had to explain that to me. And then when she was done explaining that to me, I said, well, Tracy, that's just a coincidence. He didn't do that on purpose. Nobody thinks that far ahead. And sure enough, I went to Cairo and I said, man, look, my wife is going all over town saying she likes this movie because of this one nugget at the top. You didn't do that, right? Like, you didn't do that on purpose. He's like, of course I did. And I'm like, oh my God, this is like 3 days ago. I was like, you did that on purpose? He's like, yeah, of course I did. So yeah, I mean, the movie that I thought I was going in to see is not the movie that I saw. I'm just as impressed and entertained as everyone else who had nothing to do with the project. And I think that's a lot to do with Cairo and his editor. His editor did a fantastic job as well. And yeah, my wife is one of those highbrow, sees everything in a movie people, and she picked that out. And so he's got stuff everywhere, and it's just, yeah, it's impressive, and it's fun to be a part of. It's fun to watch.
Definitely, it's an incredible film, and it's being showed on the closing day of Dentsu Films on their 25th anniversary at the Chinese Theatre. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, the Chinese Theatre is, I mean, I was there in 1988. We came from Chicago, big family vacation, all my brothers and I, my parents, and we walked up and down Hollywood Boulevard. And just off of the Chinese Theatre, my dad got into a little scuffle with one of the dressed up people, you know, the character people, because they were kind of like walking with us, following us, and hey guys, come on, you want a photo? And my dad kind of like put him up against the wall and said, leave us alone, you know. And so it happened right there. And that's such a significant memory in my life, being in this strange town, Hollywood, everything was crazy. It was nighttime. And right at the Chinese Theatre that happened. And then, of course, being 10 and seeing all the handprints and footprints and just thinking, oh, this is amazing. So 1988 to 2022 is amazing to have like an actual feature-length film, you know, playing there that I'm in. And it's, you know, nobody rented it out. It's not a gimmick or whatever. It's a festival that's playing this film, and I get to see it there. So I'm glad I had the A to B connection with that, because, you know, if I had just seen the Chinese Theatre for the first time when I moved to Hollywood, it would still be significant, but I saw it as a kid, and now my film is playing there, and it's really cool.
Well, congratulations. You did a
Thanks.
fantastic job. This was an
Thanks.
incredible movie, and I can't wait to see it on the big screen at Dance Films.